Okay, well, we are live, but I believe I'm the only person on. Can you see?
Yeah, I don't see anybody in the live chat. Um, yeah, so maybe we should wait. Like, what would happen if nobody that's a interesting like Zen koan. What would happen if no one shows up?
Well, I think you would answer the questions that you have. Now there's other people are coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So then I'm thinking, because I have questions that came in during the week. Maybe I'll start with those.
That's great. Welcome to everyone who's here. Go ahead, Paul, and answer the
Okay.
questions you already have.
Great. Okay. Well, the first question, which I super appreciate, somebody was asking about, like with what's happening in the world. And, when I spend, I try to make a point of spending time every day going down the rabbit hole and trying to understand what is going on in our world. And the question had to do with, how do I keep that balance between not getting overwhelmed with the incredible, just like the darkness and the evil, and which really engenders the sense of hopelessness and pessimism and despair and all that. How do I hold that and keep like, a real positive, outlook? And I, like I'm saying, I super appreciate that question. But I think it's really important because I know a lot of people who are tracking what's going on in the world and have gotten fixed in a viewpoint of hopelessness and despair and depression and pessimism and all that. And that's not good because then you're actually unwittingly you're serving the forces of darkness. And because then you feel helpless, you feel not connected to your agency and all that, where, I'm very grateful in the sense that I have, some sort of understanding of the quantum. And one of the things about the quantum sort of, this universe being quantum in nature is that it's very open-ended. And this universe, in a way, I mean, not in a way, but quantum physics has empirically proven that this universe is pulsating in and out of the void every nanosecond. So that being said, um, at every and any moment, this universe is in a way refreshing itself anew. And so that gives me incredible hope. Like, I certainly don't want to solidify this universe in like this limited pessimistic way, or then I'm one of the people who's responsible for it manifesting that way because of the power of our own consciousness. So there's that. Then there's also, there's the image comes in my mind of like when there's deep darkness, and like I've been saying, it like lends itself to interpreting it like things are really negative and all that. But it also can be interpreted as, oh, when there's a deep shadow, it's an expression that there's an incredibly strong light that's nearby, just like in the sense of when there's in the deepest darkness of night, well, that's a harbinger of that dawn is going to be coming and the sun is going to be rising. So all of this, what I'm saying is pointing to the profound importance of really connecting with our nature, with our quantum nature, that it's like this seduction to get entranced by the darkness and to fall into the pessimism and the hopelessness. And in my first Watiko book, I talk about one of the strategies of Watiko is to get, fall into pessimism because then unwittingly by the power of your consciousness, you're going to create all the evidence you need to confirm your pessimistic point of view, which makes you even more entrenched in pessimism. It's a feedback loop. But to the extent we're not aware of our own power over our own consciousness, we're going to feel just like a victim. And, as we wake up, you discover we're anything but a victim. We have this incredible creative agency and power. That's part of our nature. So the real answer to your question is no, I don't turn a blind eye to the darkness and to the evil or the insanity or however you would characterize it. But I also understand that what's playing out, the horror, the mysterium horrendum is one of the phrases for that, and the evil and the insanity, it's actually revealing even more the contours of Watiko. And that means that it's actually potentially expanding our consciousness. And by expanding our consciousness, that opens our heart even more. So the idea is that all of this is pointing at the incredible superhero power all of us have in engaging the world via how we interpret what's happening. Okay. So the same thing could be happening for two different people. Say they're in our world right now, and one could be interpreting it like, oh, we're doomed. And another person could be interpreting it like, oh no, this is actually expanding my consciousness and opening my heart and giving me even more understanding of the collective psychosis